Putting each other down.
Grooming each other a little bit here on the sofa. Welcome to you both. It's lovely to have you here today. Series 6, this is your second series, isn't it? That you've been started Series 5. And for you, have you been there right from the beginning?
From the beginning, yeah, Series 1.
And did you ever think back then in Series 1 that this was going to be part of our lives now, really? Because it really is.
Yeah, it is, and just sort of part of the nation's life. It's strange because when we finished the first series, you know, you sort of get very close to everyone, the cast, the crew and everyone, and we were all in different cars leaving our apartments, going to the airport. And I remember we drove past Siobhan Finneran's apartment. She was standing on the balcony in a pink robe and she was crying. She was waving, crying, because you just think it's the end of it. It's the end of this sort of bizarre microcosm that you live in, and you you think you're never going to see anyone again. And of course, the second series, it gets a bit less and less and less, and now we're like, yeah, see you next year.
But it seems to be the sort of secret of its success, if you like, it appears to be the writing, because you, on the surface, you look at these characters, and I mean, there are some huge characters in it, but very real, even so.
Yeah, Darren Litton is the best writer ever, I have to say, and in the words of One Direction, it's the best show ever. I should have sang that, shouldn't I? I should have said it's the best show ever. And it really is the writing. I mean, in a way,
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, so much, trust me, so much. I've heard her sing. It's all in the writing, really.
Characters, he creates these amazing characters.
I have huge admiration for any writer and him, because, you know, 6 series on to write, you know, new characters, new stuff for the old characters, to write jokes in there and keep it, you know, even though they're large characters, to sort of keep it real and truthful, and it is. I think it's a genius piece of work.
And when he came up with Joyce Temple Savage, I mean, she was. It's just when I read, I just laugh out loud. Yeah. And when I watch it, I laugh out loud. I think, oh God, I'm laughing at myself. How bad is this?
He did write that with you in mind, so I think that says a lot.
And you know, Bing Bong, Joyce Temple Savage Star in a Hotel, and then we got our 4-star. Of course, it was all down to me.
Yes, of course.
And, it's a joy beyond joy to do. I have to tell you.
Still, when they see you, they still expect you to speak with a Spanish accent, don't they?
I know. I have been on here so many times and on several shows, and it's so strange that people still get a shock. They sort of step back.
Though.
It is, of course it is. Absolutely it is. And it sort of means I'm doing something right. Although I think that the nation now thinks that my Spanish accent is how a Spanish accent should be, rather than a real Spanish person with a Spanish accent.
He does speak 7 languages.
Well, I was going to say, you've just given... Is it your first interview that you've given in Spanish?
I did a whole 20-minute interview in Spanish with a Spanish TV channel.
He didn't know what he was saying.
But I saw a bit of it and I thought, oh, what's this? And I looked at it and I was so surprised at myself. It's so fluent. It's very fluent, and it's very... And, you know, my Spanish has improved over the years, but I was so surprised by it.
But you're one of those people that is a linguist. You just pick them up, but you must pick them up.
I think it has to do with the fact that I was brought up in Switzerland. My parents are Italian, so we spoke Italian at home, German and Swiss German at, you know, in school and everyday life, and French as well very early on. So I think you just start having an ear for it.
Please tell me you're rubbish at maths.
No, I'm really good at maths. I can still do them in my head.
And in 7 languages.
Yes, and I come from Nottingham, so I don't stand a chance, do I?
I'm sure
it's been Nottingham, though.
I don't think Nottingham would hold you back.
And I could give Wayne Sleep a run for his money in ballet.
Yeah, oh, he can, really? He's got the best turnout you've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that forms part of the series, I think you'll find.
We saw a brilliant clip there in the montage that we set you up with, and there's Philippe Olivier comes in as Jason, who's sort of a little bit of a rival to the hunky barman status, and there's the fight that breaks out.
I know, I thought that day I was going to have a sip of water there, but yeah, it's sort of become quite famous, that scene.
5 years!
Do you remember the bit when we slid and we came right across you on the table?
Yes, I do.
Of course she remembers it.
We were so oiled up in this scene for obvious reasons, and at one point I'm throwing Phil Olivia over the table, and we just slid across the whole desk, head first across into her lap.
And they smelt of oil and sweat.
You're going to need a bucket of water for her in a minute. Oh, dear. What about... well, also, there have been some fabulous cameos throughout the years. And Joan Collins.
She's brilliant. She plays my boss.
Crystal...
We get loads of people watching, but we've never had, like, huge
lines
crowds.
and lines and lines.
And they were very in awe of her. They
in awe of her.
You know, we get all the sort of dirty slogans thrown at us and all that, and people were just sort of almost bowing to her.
Well, that's proper Hollywood royalty.
Oh, and she got out and held it as well.
As only she
could. Got to learn from that, you see. Don't stumble out. Just
Yes.
get up and go.
Take
hello.
note.
Yes.
But see, you're my Hollywood royalty, because Slipper and the Rose is my favourite.
Oh, I know you.
And I, every time I look at you, I always go, "Ooh, you're a Slipper and
the
Rose."
Rose, and there it is.
And
Yes, there's the
just
pictures.
a quick picture of you.
I don't know if you can go in.
Yeah,
There's
look
Margaret
at
Markle.
that.
Come near with that young skin.
The hair hasn't changed.
Benidorm is on tonight at 9 o'clock on ITV. Don't miss it. Lovely to
Thank
see
you,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
very much.
Lovely to see you. We've got Mr. Thackeray and Lord Loxley from Mr. Selfridge tomorrow.
Have a lovely week. Bye.